you're not tracking your cycles yet? If you're not tracking your cycles yet, you are missing out on some very critical health information. Like the kind of information that could explain your mood swings, your fertility struggles, your irregular disruptive periods, those recurring infections, or the development of fibroids and even your thyroid health. In part one of this series, I explain why ovulation deserves more attention and how ovulation is the real star of your cycle and not your period. See, ovulation is not just about getting pregnant. It can actually serve as your body's monthly indicator that your endocrine and reproductive systems are functioning the way that they're supposed to. And when ovulation isn't happening or it isn't happening regularly, that's your body waving a red flag. And if you haven't watched that video yet, I want to invite you to go check it out because it lays the foundation for everything that I'm going to build on in this video. This series is called Why Ovulation Matters More Than You Think, because ovulation is more than just a phase that can lead to pregnancy. Many experts are considering ovulation as a vital sign of your overall health, and developing an awareness of this vital sign is the beginning of building a stronger connection with your cycle, with your health, and it helps you to recognize those red flags early. So in this second part, I just want to take you deeper into something that most of us were never taught, that your body is a messenger in so many ways, and your female body is constantly speaking to you through your menstrual cycle. But how can you listen to her if you don't understand her language? Most women were never taught that their body has its own language. But I'm just here to tell you that all those symptoms and sensations that we experience on a daily basis is the body's way of communicating. And most of us are only familiar with the basic ones like hunger and pain. And we know what to do with these sensations and signs for the most part. But when it comes to our menstrual cycles, we've been mostly taught to ignore, fear, or suppress our cycles. Every month, in every phase of our cycles, we're in confusion. And even this deep into the age of information, our divine cyclical nature remains a mystery for majority of women because we were taught to not understand them. Every unbearable cramp, every mood swing, every appearance of discharge, every period that is late, these are messages, and they're not just some random annoyance or curse. By the time we're adults and we've spent years, even decades, confused, frustrated, and disconnected from our own reproductive system and our menstrual cycles, many of us, we either hate our fertility and our periods, or we just feel nothing towards it at all, especially in the case of someone who is not trying to conceive. Apathy. Apathetic towards our divine design. But apathy doesn't just happen. Apathy is a response, more like a survival mechanism, and it comes from emotional exhaustion, it comes from learned helplessness, and it comes from being failed by the very systems that profit from your confusion. So apathy towards your body is also by design. And I talk more about the concept of apathy towards fertility and menstruation in one of my recent journal entries on Substack. It's called The Root of Apathy. Are you disconnected from your fertility? And I want to invite you to read that journal entry when this video ends, because it is a very powerful reminder that the apathy that you have isn't your fault, but understanding is your birthright. And moving from apathy to awareness and from disconnection to deep, informed care is going to be your next best move. As women, we have these built-in biological signs. They're called biomarkers, and they can help you understand exactly what's going on inside. And we must first start by paying attention to these biomarkers that our bodies are showing us throughout our monthly cycles. And so these biomarkers, they include cervical mucus changes. These changes are going to be present on your tissue when you wipe. They'll be in your panties also, sometimes not. Paying attention to the flow of cervical mucus throughout your cycle is what's going to allow you to identify the days of your cycle that you should consider yourself fertile, which is very pertinent information if you're either avoiding or achieving pregnancy. Second is the basal body temperature. That's another biomarker that I track daily, which allows me insight into how my thyroid is functioning, because thyroid function has a direct effect on cycle health. And the ability to pinpoint the exact day that you ovulate, which further allows me to count forward to the exact day that my period is going to show up. Third is the position and texture of your cervix. And I don't personally use this sign myself, but it is very helpful for women who have irregular cervical mucus patterns. And also just paying attention to whether or not ovulation is even occurring. Because if it's not occurring, that's a huge red flag. And just because you may have a bleed doesn't mean that you're ovulating regularly. And cycle tracking isn't just about predicting your period. It's about monitoring your hormonal health as well as your overall health. So just like doctors track your blood pressure and your heart rate and your respiratory rate to evaluate how your body is functioning, you can also independently track the signs of your hormonal health through your cycle. And these signs, they tell you what's going on beneath the surface. And when you learn to record these signs on a chart, you can then turn your cycle into your own personal health journal, which offers you insight into, again, hormonal balance. So those progesterone levels, which is very critical information for my ladies who are dealing with fibroids and fertility issues. It also offers you insight into your thyroid function, inflammation in the body, stress load, and how it impacts your menstrual health and mental health, and even your fertility status. So being able to understand when your fertile window is open and when it is closed. It's literally data from your body. And when I first started tracking it, I was blown away by what I had learned about my body. But also, I was blown away by what I had never learned. And I was already 27 by the time I started. So now I'm focused on teaching more women body literacy through the practice of fertility awareness and how to read your own charts like a roadmap to use throughout your personal wellness journey. And for the most basic awareness, you only need to pay attention to 6 signs. So these are the 6 essential signs that I teach women to pay attention to. So one is the quality and duration of your menstrual flow. So that's the menstrual phase, because healthy menstruation indicates balanced hormones and a responsive uterine lining. Second is the pattern of your post-menstrual dry days. So we call them dry days because there should be a natural pause of flow that reflects proper hormonal progression. Third is the texture and color of your cervical mucus. So when you experience that fertile quality mucus, that signals estrogen health and ovulatory readiness. 4 is the signs that ovulation has occurred. So again, ovulation is the hallmark of hormonal harmony, and it implies adequate endocrine and ovulatory or ovarian function. 5 is the length of your luteal phase. So having stable PMS-free days indicates healthy progesterone levels. And number 6 is the overall rhythm of your cycle, because again, regularity reveals how your body is functioning. And cycle charting is not only valuable for those who experience regular cycles with all the expected signs. It's equally powerful for those dealing with irregularities, because the variations, whether it is cycle length, inconsistent ovulation, unusual bleeding, or even confusing cervical mucus patterns, those are messages too. And tracking them allows you to spot patterns. It allows you to identify potential underlying causes, even advocate for yourself with clarity when you're working with your healthcare professionals. And it helps you to begin creating a roadmap of self-care that can support you in moving toward healed, balanced, and regular cycles. And then on the flip side, cycle tracking isn't just for people who are trying to avoid or achieve pregnancy, though it is incredibly effective for that as well. So the Justice method of fertility awareness is what I personally use and teach. And this method is a holistic, comprehensive, science-backed system, and it teaches you how to observe, record, and interpret your body's signs of fertility. And when this method is practiced accurately, it can be just as effective as the pill for preventing pregnancy, while also giving you that daily insight into your hormonal and overall health. So simply put, cycle charting is about knowing when your body is in balance and when it is out of balance, and then what to do next. Cycle charting is a tool, and it's for anyone who wants to understand their body, anybody who wants to regulate their hormones and restore balance and flow naturally. And here's the most important part. You don't need to be a doctor to understand any of this. You just need the knowledge and someone to guide you, like me. So if you're ready to start charting, I created a simple downloadable guide. It's called Master Your Cyclical Nature. And it's only $6. And it includes more in-depth guidelines to those 6 essential signs that I mentioned earlier, and also a printable chart to get you started on your journey. And again, if you are feeling disconnected, discouraged, or just curious about why so many people or why so many women feel this way, I encourage you to read my journal on Substack. In this particular journal entry, I explore the roots of apathy and trauma and systemic conditioning. So that link is also in my bio. Your body's been speaking to you this whole time, and it's time to start listening. So that said, I hope to see you in my next video. I have 3 more videos that are connected to this series, Why Ovulation Matters More Than You Think. All right, bye for now.